Hello everyone, it's Susie, Crypto Granny here. I hope you're all well. Please check out my Patreon and you'll get some great education in terms of cryptocurrencies and also how to set up a proper investment portfolio and a great trading portfolio that's going to make you an excellent return. But today, let's talk about the cryptocurrency market. Always interesting. Seriously, I just love this market. It just fascinates me. I can't keep away from it. Just a total obsession. But last night they were trying to sell the market down, and it was happening right across the board. You could see it with Chiles, you could see it with Graph, you could see it with SXP Swipe, for example, which I'm very bullish on. You could see it with so many things like Bitcoin. You could even see it with Ethereum. Like a lot of crypto was really, the charts were basically the buyers and the sellers really, tussling with each other. And, so you keep getting buy signals and sell signals and buy signals. And you could really tell that the sellers were trying to get in control of this market. But, and also with ADA last night, they really smashed that. I was long ADA at about $1.38 or something. And all of a sudden, ADA got smashed at around 148 or something like that. And I think it got down to about $1.15. I was looking, I think it was $1.15 or something on Binance and Qcoin. And you could just see it. And then they were trying to hammer the exchanges as well, Binance and Qcoin, which I think are both really cheap coins. So it was fascinating to watch. When I was looking at all the charts, they're just so weird. There were so many weird looking charts yesterday. So I think there's been a lot of selling out there in the last day or so, and there's been some big whales out there trying to push certain coins down, like ADA, for example. But I think, fundamentally, certainly when they come out with their mainnet, everything done and, all their multi-ledger systems and, their ability to tokenize anything, whether it's an NFT or, a DeFi or whatever, I think, ADA will see, a much higher price, that's for sure. All very interesting stuff, I have to say. I could talk about the market all day, honestly. But anyway, let's look at the stats on the market at the moment. Market cap, 1.797 trillion. Volume is 71.85 bill, and that's a lot. And liquidity is up to nearly 4 bill, which is also a lot. Bitcoin dominance at the moment is 61%. And it's really, being well supported, Bitcoin, particularly, it hasn't dropped below the 60% dominance. And that's probably because we've had a lot of institutional buyers that have been buying Bitcoin. And, we're seeing that, right through, more and more institutions are getting into the cryptocurrency market. So for me, I just don't believe you can be short this market. But, you've got to be obviously long the right crypto in the right industry sector that's going to do extremely well by this cryptocurrency technology, which is incredible. I mean, this is bigger than, 99 or even the web, right? This is going to take the world to the next step. And honestly, in every sector that we're in, it's going to do so well because of that. But also we're in the right coins in those sectors, which are absolutely propelling. So, we're very pleased about, how our investment portfolios and trading portfolios are working. It's great. So with that, I'll go through the news first because there's a lot to talk about. The first thing is, what have we got here? Robinhood going to expand its crypto business, and apparently in the first 2 months of this year, they had 6 million clients on their platform, which is just unbelievable. So they're actually going much more into expanding the business. They realise how profitable it is. It certainly makes sense because everyone's making money in crypto. So also, and this is sort of like with, eToro, if you remember rightly, they're going to go and do an IPO. They're going to list on the NASDAQ, and they're doing it with a merger with some sort of SPAC fintech venture capitalist company. So these two, eToro and Robinhood, are in direct competition with each other, and they're both expanding their operations into crypto and getting bigger and bigger. Also, another thing I want to mention, Morgan Stanley. I think that's a really, really big story. Seriously, Morgan Stanley. That they're people and they're high net worth clients, individual clients that have at least $1 million, or $2 million. Actually, more specifically, they have at least $2 million in, just cash, but also they have other assets and that sort of thing. So they're actually, obviously selling their clients Bitcoin, I think at the moment. I'm not sure whether it's other cryptocurrencies. And they've said to the clients they're allowed to buy 2.5% of Bitcoin, in their portfolio. So, essentially, Morgan Stanley, I used to work for Morgan Stanley, so this is in their wealth management business, where, you have stockbroking services and bond services and everything else. But most of the clients that they would be selling to are clients that have, they buy equities. And so therefore the clients are a bit more high risk than just bonds or term deposits. Excuse me for a minute. So they've basically said, look, of our high net worth clients, we're going to say the whole worth of them, they can only invest 2.5% of that whole worth into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I'm not sure if it's just Bitcoin, as I said. So Morgan Stanley itself is huge. It's a huge investment bank, but in the wealth management business, they actually have assets under management of 4 trillion, which is a lot. Okay, so that's basically a lot. So if we said, basically, even if they got, say, 1% of 4 trillion from their client base that's going to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, that is a huge, huge move in the cryptocurrency market, right? Which would seriously, push up Bitcoin and everything else. And, so before this also, Bank of America guy came out and said, if 100 million entered the market and it bought Bitcoin, just 100 million, say US, and it bought Bitcoin, it would move the price of Bitcoin up 1%. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's what the Bank of American analyst said, which I think is a really interesting study. And he said that last night. And going back to Morgan Stanley, if they basically, from their 4 trillion assets under management, bring in 1% of their client base, as I said, that's going to be 40 billion, and if we say that 40 billion is going to come into Bitcoin, for example, 40 billion, and this Bank of America guy is saying that Bitcoin moves up with 100 million at 1%, then effectively what this is saying, right, 1% of the supply of the client coming in, if you divide 40 billion, what have we got? 40 billion, we're dealing with so many numbers here, and I know it's crazy. 40 billion, what is it? 100 million, how many times does 100 million go into 40 billion? And that's pretty much it. So on that basis, that means that Bitcoin would move up by 1,000% if that was the case from here. Okay, so I don't know where it puts the price of Bitcoin, but that 1,000%. Let me just work that off. If I work off 59,000, right, and I put in the price, I put Bitcoin in it as a price of 1,000%. So what's that going to make Bitcoin? Let's have a look here. 1,000%. Okay, wait, it's a bit too much. Bear with me for a minute, guys and girls. I just want to. Okay. So this is what the study's saying. These two, Morgan Stanley's got all their wealth management clients coming into crypto. The maximum they're allowed to do is 2.5%. So if I say only 1% of that wealth management comes in, that's 40 billion, right? And if this Bank of America guy says that for every 100 million that comes in, the Bitcoin price moves by 1%, we divide 40 billion by 100 million, and we come up with 1,000. So basically, that means 1,000%. Okay, so I think that's right, how I'm doing this. I hope so. So what that means is Bitcoin now, if it's at 59,000, is going to be worth $650,000, which is incredible. And I just wonder how all the other cryptocurrencies are going to perform against that. If they perform like they have in the similar rally we've actually seen, they tend to outperform Bitcoin by, say Bitcoin has a return of 50%. The specific alts that we invest in have a return of over 220%. So that's why we're doing so well. But I just thought that was really interesting to tell you guys about that, because I thought that was absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Another thing too, I don't know whether this is absolute fact or what, but it certainly seems to be very strong fact that Morgan Stanley has bid for a South Korean exchange, BITHUMB. Now, this is huge, okay? BITHUMB is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in South Korea. And apparently Morgan Stanley put a bid on them. It's not clear what the bid was, 265 million to 425 million, something like that. And this is very interesting because another 8 operations are trying to buy this BITHUMB exchange in South Korea. And in South Korea, they do more cryptocurrency than anyone. It's massive in South Korea, right? So this is really, really interesting. And they've made a bid, and I think they're very serious about doing it. Now, Morgan Stanley's parent company is International Continent Exchange, and it's an ICE exchange, and it's all regulated and everything else. So that's huge. But also, Morgan Stanley participated in Biden's acquisition, an entertainment company for about 400 million, and apparently Biden currently owns a third of a stake in BITHUMB. So it looks like Morgan Stanley is serious about getting into crypto in a big, big way, which, God almighty, is seriously going to push the price up of the whole cryptocurrency market. I mean, I think that is huge, absolutely huge in itself. Also, Deutsche Bank came out and said now, oh God, Bitcoin's too important now to ignore. So all the big international banks are coming around like, seriously, wake up the world, wake up, man. We'd say wake up Australia, but it's just unbelievable. So I think, there's some really interesting stories that are going to bring ultra bull to this market as far as I'm concerned. Also, Zebpay India, apparently it's an exchange in India, a cryptocurrency exchange. They've already got 4 million clients already. And crypto's going to be extremely popular in India. But the problem is at the moment, the Indian government banned crypto in 2018. Then, a lot of people complained about it because they don't have to sit in India's, what is it? I always get this wrong, rupiah or rupee, one of the two. Because that's getting devalued, right? Going lower and lower and lower because of the horrible finances in India and the poverty or whatever. So then the people said, look, we've got a right to invest in what we want. And it went to the High Court. So, it's still in that limbo stage. They want to ban it, but and they keep saying to people, don't go into the market. It's too risky and all this sort of thing. And it is risky. The market is risky. You've got to know what you're doing, seriously, in cryptocurrency. If you don't, you're just going to get blown away and invest in something seriously bad that's going to cost you a fortune. I mean, there's 8,500 cryptocurrencies and tokens in the market. And probably there's about 500 new a day of ICOs, right, of all different types. And, probably in about 2 or 3 years' time, right, 97% of those horrible tokens and coins that have no clients, have no revenue, have no business model, because all these are projects, if they have no revenue, no clients, no business model, they can't afford to pay the developers, the front-end developers and the back-end developers, the best way they can. And developers aren't going to do it forever, right? They're just not. They're not going to do it forever with no money. So they can't keep the technology best of breed. And that's a big issue. And that's why, I do believe that there'll be a lot of crypto that falls by the wayside, okay? So what else we got here? So going through that, Bybit launches Cardano perpetual contracts that you can leverage up to 25 times. SXP, which is Swipe, I watched that last night, and it got hammered literally from about 352 down to about 330. And honestly, I love Swipe. We've got this in our investment portfolio. We are having a bit of a trade on it, but it looks very good to me. And this thing's really breaking out today. So I've actually been long from today about the 343 or something. But I think it's currently at about 3, from what I can see, if I can find the right thing. It's around 370 at the moment. Wow, that's awesome. Now, the big Chinese company, bought another 20-odd million of Bitcoin in the last couple of days, and that brings them up to 90 million. And that's certainly going to be a trend, okay? Ripple's have appointed an executive, someone that was ex-Uber, I think, but then I've got something else that one of them worked for Goldman Sachs. Oh, okay, it might be this one. Goldman Sachs for 20 years or something. But anyway, so that's good for Ripple. They're going to expand into Asia in a big, big way. Also, Ripple versus SEC. Court grants motion to dismiss and strike set schedule. God, who knows what's going on? And that's why you can't have too much XRP in your investment portfolio. I mean, we've got 6% and that's about it. You've got to be diversified. I mean, I love XRP. It's one of the best cryptos out there. But seriously, the return on it's been abysmal. And it's just sad for people that hold only XRP. You have to diversify for sure. SBI, which is the big Japanese conglomerate, financial conglomerate, which is aligned with XRP and Ripple and loves XRP, has opened up a Bitcoin mining pool to the public where you can join the SBI crypto mining pool. Wow, that sounds awesome. I'd love to do that. Seriously, that would be really, really good. So what else we got here today? Oh, yes, Chiles, my favorite coin, man. You know, I saw this as a trading setup when I was at 0.074 and I got all my clients to buy at 0.074. And you know what? Chiles is a no-brainer. I'm telling you, you just got to get into Chiles. It's a no-brainer. Fundamentally, it is incredible. And also, technically, it looks like it's going to me to at least 354. This could be a $10 coin. And I'll tell you why. It's actually an exchange, and it's an exchange for non-fungible tokens. And if you go into their exchange, they have all the football clubs, you know, out of Europe, a lot of them, and their tokens are on the exchange. Now, all the football clubs have a lot of fans. They're millions, right? And those fans can buy the football club's tokens, you know, for benefits like VIP benefits, you know, rewards if you're a fan, get to meet such and such over dinner or something, you know. And this exchange is ready-made. It's there. They have clients. They have revenue. And every client is coming from the football clubs. This is massive. They got the Manchester City soccer club or whatever, which is apparently huge, because I don't know soccer much, but Manchester's, you know, huge. Not Manchester United. I don't think it's the same one. I'm not sure. But either way, it's huge. It's in the UK, right? And they're going to launch a City token called City Token, Fan Token, through Chillers and Socios. Now, Socios is the app that you use to get onto Chillers, right? The exchange. And these fan tokens are going to be used to access VIP rewards, club promotions, games, AR-enabled features, and voting rights on certain binding and non-binding club polls on socio.com. This is going to be absolutely huge. I mean, fans, all the millions, maybe there's billions, there's probably billions, you know, will come to Chiles's platform. I mean, this coin could go anywhere. Seriously, it's just unbelievable. You know, and if they came to Melbourne, you know, we go ballistic over football. You know, we're die-hard, and there must be, you know, in Melbourne's nearly, 6 million people. I mean, crikey, you know, 60% of people would be supporters, man. And it's huge. And it's just a no-brainer. It's, you know, as I mentioned before, they're going into the USA, you know, and they're going to get on the big, you know, football clubs in the USA and the leagues and everything else. And I was talking to a US person today, and, you know, that they basically said they could also get the school kids, you know, the school, you know, the universities, I mean, because apparently university football in America is huge. This is just awesome. So definitely get on to Chiles. That is an amazing, amazing story. Now, something else that just came across that I want to mention too is Tron. Tron are also, getting into non-fungible tokens. And apparently, I don't know who this person is, but apparently she's very well known in America. Lindsay Lohan, I think it is, Lindsay Lohan. Her and Justin Sun, the founder of Tron, have got something happening where Lindsay is going to launch her token on Tron's blockchain, which is fantastic. And people are moving away from, any platforms that cost a fortune, like Ethereum, for example, Ethereum. So that's a great story for Justin Sun and, excuse me, Lindsay Lohan. But also, I want to mention also the other thing. Justin Sun went to that Sotheby's digital art show, and Justin's son was in the bidding for Beeper as well, that digital art piece of work. It went for 69.3 million. And apparently someone else, leaped him, but he was doing it by Twitter and there was some delay. I mean, that's what he said. But to think that guy has that much money and he can just buy a digital artwork for, 70 million or whatever, it just shows you how well connected Justin Sun is. And also he's exposed to the Chinese market. So for me, it's just an absolute no-brainer. Look, there's so much to talk about today, and I haven't even got through half of this stuff. What else will I show you here? I mean, seriously. Also, there's this partnership, crypto.com, which is an exchange, and they have a fantastic app. There's a partnership now with Visa to accelerate worldwide crypto adoption. This is huge. Seriously, huge. Honestly, everyone is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Honestly, everyone. It's just amazing. So there was something else, excuse me, Robinhood expanding crypto services, slams Coinbase. I'm not sure why. I don't want to get into that. But these guys are growing. Also, we had Charles Hoskinson talking about Cardano can help millions of Africans have digital identities. And that's huge for Cardano, seriously, absolutely huge. So there's just so many great stories, seriously, tech, and their blockchain is able to reduce carbon emissions with incentives, says founder Sunny Liu. And they've got this client who's DNV and BYD, and they're building a proof of concept for reward drivers for reward drivers who are being good in terms of carbon emission. And apparently they've got a huge contract in China, which, I mean, there'd probably be 500 million Chinese that drive cars at a 1.4 billion. That is huge, seriously. So if we look at the social media, gosh, I'm going on today. The strong, worldwide web searches was Linear, Ecomi, Anchor, what was that? Can't even read my own writing here. Harmony. 10 out of 10 on our social media. We had Pundi, Orion, Theatre, Luna, StormX, Perpetual Protocol, Coin, AVAX, Hollow, and what was that one? I can't even read my own writing. Sorry for the last one. Anyway, very quickly, the equity market came off last night. It looks like it's rolling over a little bit, that's for sure. And it's probably because the 10-year bond yield, it has been high. It's been to 1.74. It's currently at 1.86. But technically, the equity market is hitting a level. And there was a bearish key reversal day where everything ended up on its lows. So, but it'd be interesting to see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of money coming into the system. So, maybe people are going to see it as a time to buy. Commodities didn't do much. Oil got smashed, pretty much absolutely smashed, down to $61. Gold slightly moved up, $17.39, and silver's at $26.26. So US is 108.90, and the interest rate for the 10-year bond rate in the US did come down to 1.68, but it's still too high at the moment, for sure. Anyway, that's enough for me, guys and girls. Sorry for going on so long today. There's so much to look at. Oh, and I forgot to mention the total volume. Even the real volume is, what, 21.95 billion for Tether, Bitcoin 9.71 billion, Ethereum 3.33 billion. I don't like Ethereum, as you know. And honestly, Chile's did a 1.16 billion. Amazing. Anyway, guys and girls, I'm signing off. Have a great weekend, and thank you for listening.